Well, Monster Jam fans, I have a super exciting announcement. I've been planning this for about a week now. There are a lot of great drivers in the Monster Jam circuit that were not able to compete on the Destruction Series nor the Thursday Throwdown Series. And I thought about it, Thursday Throwdown, that's more or less speedways and stuff like that. And of course, Destruction Series is stadiums. So why not have a tour that does fairgrounds and arenas and highlights some of the other drivers that didn't get to compete on the other two series. So fans, I'm super excited to announce the all-new BeamNG Monster Jam, get it? Send It series. So, this has 10 of the best competitors who didn't get the opportunity to compete on the main tours. This means your official lineup is Matt, Cody in Blue Thunder, Charlie Pauken in Gravedigger, Colt Stevens in TunderROARus, Tristan England in the BKT, Rihanna Mahan, Scooby, Fernando Martinez, Toro, Loco, Nick Pagliarulo, Kraken, Mike Pagliarulo, Excaliber, Kevin Crocker, Megalodon, and Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. Fans, the series kicks off right now, right here, in the York County Fairgrounds. So, everybody, I hope you're all ready, because we're getting started off in the skills challenge. So, we have the Thursday Throwdown series, only freestyle. The Destruction series got everything. Now, this series is going to be skills and freestyle, so it's a little bit simpler, but still making sure to give you fans a good amount of... Wow, sorry, that truck was very loud. I'm sure that hurt all your ears. So this series, unlike the Destruction series, which is all competitions, and the Thursday Throwdown series, which is one competition, this is both skills and freestyle, so this isn't necessarily the full package like we got on the Destruction series, but we still wanted to give a big experience with a smaller lineup like this tour is, because it is only 10 drivers. On that note, we're getting things started here with Kevin Crocker in Megalodon. Kevin looking for the first hit. Skills has never exactly been Kevin Crocker's thing. I think we can all agree on that. But there we go. He's got a bit of a nice wheelie going. Can he get it back, though? This can be big. Oh, he didn't even try to save that. That's strange. I mean, Kevin's going to roll it early. I'm sure he probably wanted to have a little bit more fun than that to kick off the night. But roll over on a fairly uneventful first hit. That's gonna end up as a 2.8 for Kevin Crocker, unsurprisingly. So fans, because these are two scored competitions rather than being racing and scored competitions and a bit of a mess like that, the way points are going to work on this series is actually just going to be adding up all the scores they get. So typically you would do it based on placement. This series is going to be a lot closer because it's based on what scores you get. So, I mean, 3 drivers can get scores in the 9s and all get 9 points. That's what's going to make the points on this series especially interesting. So, right now, Kevin only has 2.8 points to his name on the series. Coming up next, please welcome Brianna Mahan and Scooby. Now, similar to Kevin Crocker, I can't say this competition is necessarily a strong suit for Rihanna Mahan, but nonetheless, she's looking to see what she can get done here for the first hit. She's taking some speed to it, and a huge sky wheelie sets it down. Maybe not. Oh, maybe not. What a save, Rihanna Mahan and Scooby delivering even in a less convenient situation. It looked like she had it, and then she didn't, and then she did again, and it was a very cool first move there. She's still got one more hit to go. Looks like she's trying to get a feel for this ramp right here. She's gonna take it back now and give it an actual attempt. Oh my goodness! Oh wait! Whoa! Brianna Mahan and Scooby taking a very unique approach to skills. I've never seen a run quite like that. Something unlike we've seen before. But I'll tell you what, I think that's going to reflect well in the scores because, ladies and gentlemen, your official score tonight for Brianna Mahan and Scooby-Doo is an 8.65. 8.65. Not a bad score at all. Honestly, that's a score to be pretty happy about. Seeing as neither attempt went exactly as she wanted it to, but I mean, then again, you think about it, debatably, the fact that they went wrong is what made them so cool in the first place, because she turned 2 fairly routine hits into 2 pretty wild saves, that's for sure. On that note, we're going to get right into your third competitor. There it is, you can see him getting ready to go. This is Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. Give us 1 second, fans. We're going to try and figure something out really quick. That should help with a bit of lag the stream is experiencing. Alright, this might help. If this doesn't help, we're going to try switching out something else. But we're going to give it a try here. Whoops, that was the wrong thing. Coming up next to the track, please welcome Team Tomfoolery's own Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. Nick, he has really improved in this competition over time, but he's never matched the perfection that some other drivers have, even with all his experience. So it'll be interesting to see what he does to try and wow you fans. Hold on, looks like another quick pause here. Gonna try to get that lag issue figured out. We want to deliver the best experience possible. So we're gonna try one last thing here to hopefully get that all solved, and we're gonna get underway here with your third competitor, Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. Again, Nick, he's definitely improved in this competition, but I can't say it's necessarily his strongest competition ever. Nonetheless, though, he's getting lined up over here. Can he salvage this? Yes, he can. Safe to say that move definitely didn't go how he wanted it to, but he is going to get one of his signature wheelie combinations going. Can he keep it going? Wow, Nick just did like 6 slap wheelies in a row, all off one hit. That is a super unique move. I don't think we're going to see anything else like that. But, even though it was cool, he was going for a stoppie, so it's something for our judges here to keep in mind. That was technically unsuccessful, even though it was a pretty cool attempt. So, we'll see what he can do to try and get things back here with the second move. Oh no! Oh my goodness, Nick Pagliarulo, can he get this back? Hold on! Oh, wait. Oh, just can't get the grip he needed. That ramp seems to be the only one that can get a good enough kick to do anything. But so far, no drivers have had very good luck with it. Everyone's been unfortunate enough to roll over or just have to pull out an insane save that doesn't look too clean. So, Nick, he gave it his all there, but I can't say it'll be the biggest score, but you never know. So on that note, scores are in. And your score for Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken is a 6.78. 6.78. Not a bad score. I think it's a pretty decent score, considering neither move went how he wanted it to. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that he did like a hexa slap wheelie on the first hit. Nonetheless, a pretty cool skills run overall for Nick Pagliarulo. But coming up next, please welcome Colt Stevens and TunderROARus. Now, Colt, he has had a similar story to Nick, where he's still not perfect in this competition, but he has improved drastically since he started out. And he has become more and more fun to watch as time goes on. He's going to go right in for the first hit. Oh no! Wait, can he get this back? He's going to try. The truck rocks back and forth, but never back onto all fours. And man, I was about to say, that looks like the only attempt off that ramp that looked like it was going right for someone. But that's not going to be the case. It's going to be another early rollover, this time for Colt Stevens and TunderROARus. gave it his all. Almost had the best maneuver of the night so far, but the truck just decided it was not looking to do that and caught on the edge and rolled it over. On that note, the score for Colt Stevens and TunderROARus, a 1.7. 1.7, an extremely low score for Colt. I believe the lowest score we've seen on any tour all season long, but sometimes that's just how it goes. Things don't go your way, and the scores reflect that. So Colt Stevens and TunderROARus, he's probably going to end up with last place tonight unless someone makes a major mistake at some point in time. We'll see if everyone else can stay consistent, though. And coming up next, it's none other than Matt Cody and Blue Thunder. Matt, most of his stadium experience comes from the international tours, so although this isn't necessarily a stadium, it's much different than driving in an arena. So Matt, we're gonna have to see what he can do now. He did have a lot of experience in the independent circuit, and that included fairgrounds just like this, so that might actually work towards his favor, but we'll really just have to wait and see. He's lining up for the first hit. And it looks like this ramp gave a bit of a better kick than the other one did. Matt Cody, he's giving it a nice moonwalk here. This is the best maneuver we have seen so far. He's going to throw it in reverse. Maybe he's going to look for a bit of a combination. Wow, Matt Cody, I am blown away. That was incredible. He had those skills on full display. And he showed you fans why he is one of the best in the game right now. And a tour champion in the past. He's got one more hit to go. Matt Cody and Blue Thunder. Hold on, he's going to have to get this into something. Oh, wow, what a tough hit. Oh, wow. He barely maneuvers that truck to where he doesn't cause any venue damage. A true display of skill right there from Matt Cody and Blue Thunder. That looks like it was going to go very wrong. I like how he crushed the cars well on the moonwalk. That was very cool. Right when the truck was about to go over, he knew exactly what he had to do to set it down safely. A true display of talent from Matt Cody. Great combinations, a clean moonwalk, and an amazing save type move right there. And the score tonight for Matt Cody and Blue Thunder is a 9.1. 9.1. That's going to put Matt Cody and Blue Thunder at the top spot currently. Now, I think that is a pretty beatable score overall, so if these drivers bring their A games, maybe they can top that, but that is the first score out of half the field that has made it into the 9, so clearly it's a bit challenging out here. I don't know if it's the dirt or the track style that most drivers in Monster Jam wouldn't be used to, but there's something about the track here at the York Fairgrounds that just doesn't seem to be working out for a lot of these competitors. Hold on, fans, I'm not sure why we're having these issues again. A little bit of lag issues. We got rid of these for a very long time, and lately they've been starting to come back. I'm not entirely sure why. Nonetheless, Tim Hall Jr. and Jurassic Attack is up next. He's got 2 attempts on 2 wheels. Still experiencing some lag issues, fans. We're going to try and get this figured out really quick. Give us 1 second here. I'm not too sure what's up. Alright, we're going to continue on here. Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack, lining up for the first hit. He's looking nice on those front 2 BKT tires. He's going to walk it up the ramp. Absolutely unreal work we are seeing right now from Tim Hall Jr. He's now steering those front 2 tires. You can see him moving the rear steer a little bit. And he even tries to walk it back some more. Tim Hall Jr. and Jurassic Attack, he just showed you fans what he is all about. He's still got one more move to go. And he is lining up on that racing ramp. We'll see what he can do here. Oh my goodness! Tim Hall Jr. and Jurassic Attack attempting something I don't think I've seen from him in quite a while. I remember he attempted it at Mima a couple of years back, but it looks like he brought it back to try and wow the judges here at the York Fair, and that, I mean, that was pretty cool, I can't lie. One of the cooler things we've seen so far. Will it be enough? Score to beat? 9.1 from Cody in the Blue Thunder. And your score tonight for Tim Hall Jr. and Jurassic Attack is an 8.43, 8.43, not bad. That's going to put him in third place currently. Definitely a score to be happy about. Third place, never something to complain about. So Tim Hall Jr. not looking bad at all. But coming up next, this driver has been a growing threat here in the Skills Challenge. And he's looking to make it clear why. Coming up next to the track, his name is Mike Pagliarulo. He's from Team Foolery, and he's driving the Excaliber. Man, I don't know what it is, but something really clicked with Mike Pagliarulo this year. He's been on a roll in this competition especially, and, well, Freestyle is a whole different story. We'll be seeing that a little bit later on. But he's going to have to prove himself right now in skills. And he's looking great on the first hit so far. Combination maneuver. Uh-oh. He's going to get it back, and now he is walking it like nothing ever happened. Mike Pagliarulo and Excaliber making up for the losses that we saw from Nick Pagliarulo earlier. Not that Nick did poorly, but he certainly wasn't at the same caliber as a lot of these other competitors. Mike, though, he's looking strong so far, and he still has one more hit to go. He's looking for it, trying to see what looks good. Might be going for a popper like we saw earlier. No, it looks like we're going to see another bicycle attempt. Can he get this successfully? Oh, man. I'm not sure if it was successfully in the sense that it was what he wanted. But, man, Mike Pagliarulo and Excaliber... Sorry, went to the wrong spot there. Mike Pagliarulo and Excaliber absolutely delivered tonight in the Skills Challenge. I don't know where that came from, but he just showed off some absolute talent out there. Looking great on both hits. Neither one as planned, but he had the mental capacity to know exactly what to do and when to do it to get that truck back on all fours. So, absolutely amazing work that we just saw there from Michael Pagliarulo and Excaliber. On that note, we're on the tail end of the Skills Challenge. Charlie Pauken, Tristan England, Fernando Martinez all remain. Before we get to them, it's time to reveal the score for Mike Pagliarulo. Your score for Excaliber is a 9.03. 9.03. Not quite enough for that top spot. That is still held by Matt Pagliarulo, but, whoa, I just made up a name. By, Matt Cody, sorry, currently holds the lead with a 9.1, but Mike Pagliarulo putting up a good fight with a 9.03, putting him very narrowly into second place. So on that note, and then there was one coming up last here in skills, and certainly not least at that, it's Charlie Pauken in Gravedigger. Charlie, a veteran to the sport, he knows exactly what needs to be done if he wants to get those good scores. Looks like he's searching on the track right now, trying to see what'll work out for him. And he looks like he might have his eyes on that jammer type ramp right there. Now here's the thing, The backside looks like it could be pretty good as a jammer. I'm not sure that this side does, so we'll see what he thinks. Looks like he might still be approaching it for a wheelie here. Trying to get a little bit of a run-up test going. Trying to figure out when to accelerate, when not to. And there is that veteran skill on full display for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. He's gonna combo it up into a second wheelie, and he's gonna go over. Can he get this back? No, he cannot. Oh, man. Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. He just went absolutely haywire. It looks like he was gonna get a second wheelie. And he did, and then he nearly had an incredible save. That truck flipped in a barrel roll through the air. Just the rough landing of it was enough to get that truck shut off. I'm not going to blame that on an official call. I mean, that was a pretty hard hit, and hits like that tend to make the truck shut off on its own. So, we'll give him the benefit of a doubt there for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger. Now, unfortunately for him, that wasn't what he wanted, necessarily. Again, it wasn't a bad attempt by any means, but you need to bring your A game if you want to be able to place high. And that is exactly what Matt, Cody, and Blue Thunder, your current leader, did. As well as Mike Pagliarulo, currently in second place, debatably. I think he could have gotten first and deserved it, but he didn't. Nonetheless, your score tonight for Charlie Pauken and Gravedigger is a 5.51. 5.51. Not a great score. That puts him in the bottom 3 right now, I believe. So Charlie Pauken, he's going to have some makeup to do later on. Nonetheless, coming up next, a rising star. He's already risen quite a bit. He was the series leader for a little while on the weekend series on Arena Series Central with non-BeamNG Monster Jam. He would end up losing that dominance, but it's not too late to start that dominance here on the BeamNG series. Fernando Martinez trying to get you fans on your feet. He is the first of 2 competitors left to go. After Fernando Martinez, we only have Tristan England left, and then this competition is over. So the pressure is on right now for these drivers who are left to really push these trucks to their limits. Fernando Martinez looking great right now. Uh-oh. Oh, man. It looks like maybe he could have saved that, but unfortunately, he did get shut off because he was getting too close to the wall. Fortunately, he didn't hit anything. The truck might have a little bit of body damage, but it doesn't look like there's anything that will affect the way it runs. Fortunately, the fairgrounds are still intact, but a very unfortunate break there for Fernando Martinez and Toro Loco, as he was looking very strong in this competition on that first hit. But you know what? When you line up for the ramp that's right next to the big structure, sometimes that's just going to be how things go. And your score for Fernando Martinez and Toro Loco is a 4.10. 4.10, 4.10. That is the score for Fernando Martinez and Toro Loco. That's going to now move him into the bottom 3, so that's going to help Charlie Pauken a little bit, but not marginally. On that note, we are finally down to the last competitor here in the Skills Challenge. Straight out of Texas, but all the way in Pennsylvania, this is Tristan England and the BKT. Tristan England looked like he might have been interested in something with that ramp right there, but ultimately decided against it. Keep in mind, each driver has had 2 hits, so if Tristan can make both of them count, because most drivers couldn't, I think that will be very helpful for him here. Looks like he's doing a similar thing to Fernando, trying to get a feel for this ramp. And it did work for Fernando, so maybe it'll work for Tristan England as well. Okay, it almost didn't, but he's got his things together, and he was able to Get that truck set up. Look at this from Tristan England and BKT. This is a textbook skills run. And a beautiful piece of work right there. That was all just one hit, and it was an incredible combo. He still has one more hit to go. Keep in mind, like I said earlier, only a small handful of drivers have been able to make both hits count. If Tristan England can do the same, and he can do it better, the window is wide open to grab that top spot and that win. And it looks like he is preparing to do something here. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, Tristan England and BKT. I'm sure that's not exactly what he was planning to do. It looks like he was setting up for your typical nose pick combination move. Didn't work out, but instead he got an incredible save. You can see him parked up there on the ramp. He's looking pretty confident here. You know what? I would be too. That was an incredible skills performance. But on that note, it's time to get to the scores. Again, that was your last competitor of the competition. Wasn't enough. Score to beat, 9.1 for Matt, Cody, and Blue Thunder. Your score for Tristan England and BKT is a 9.67. 9.67. Put him at the top. Tristan England and BKT. He is now your Skills Challenge winner and your current season points leader. On that note, fans, if you take a look at the big screen, it's now time for Monster Jam Freestyle. All 10 of those amazing competitors you just saw battle it out in skills are now going to take to the track in everybody's favorite competition, Monster Jam Freestyle. Each driver will have roughly 2 minutes to throw down the best run they possibly can. And again, the way this series works, it's not the highest, or it's not each ranking gets a certain number of points. It's whatever your score is how many points you get from this event. So if someone scores a 10 in freestyle, they gain 10 points on the series. If someone gets a 1 in freestyle, regardless of where they place, they get a 1 on the series. So it'll be very interesting to see how this will affect points, as right now it's a very, very close chase between Tristan England, Mike Pagliarulo, and Matt Cody. On that note, it's time to get underway with freestyle. The freestyle order will be an order based on what the scores were in skills. So coming up first, he just got last place in the skills challenge. Now the pressure is on for him to deliver here in freestyle. Please welcome Colt Stevens and TunderROARus. Keep in mind, he is a reigning world champion and a 2-time world champion. So the pressure is on for him. He is out there. He's parked up on that ramp. He's trying to get you fans on your feet. Looks like we're experiencing some slight lag issues again. Give us 1 second here, fans. Again, I'm sorry. I don't know where or when these started. We never had a single issue with anything like this for a good while. And all of a sudden, it's been a huge issue. We're going to try and get something figured out here. We're going to have to slightly change some things around so that we can get everything running nice and smooth. And hopefully this will help us out. Again, fans, I apologize for these lag issues we've been experiencing. I don't know why they've been happening. We haven't had issues like this in years. Hopefully after this event, everything will be working as intended. And on that note, we're going to get going here with freestyle. So once again, coming up first, please welcome Colt Stevens, TunderROARus. Now again, drivers 2 minutes to do the best piece of work that they can here in freestyle. Colt Stevens, a world freestyle champion. He should be no stranger to this format. Looks like he didn't like the start he had going there. He's going to get this truck repositioned, reset up, and ready to go. Colt Stevens and TunderROARus soaring high into the sky to get things started, and he is looking to get big air tonight, I guess, because so far it has been nothing but huge sends. Maybe a rollover as well if he can't get it back, but look at that. He perfectly executes the save. Colt Stevens and TunderROARus putting his raw talent on display. That is exactly what we're going to need to see, and he's just now about 30 seconds into the run. He's going to go crazy over again. He's going to get it back, but fans, you saw that. Unfortunately, he went into the barrier that we have set up. Now keep in mind, only this wall is part of the arena. The wall you see in front of the green is part of the arena. All of that green tape, there's nothing there. It's just concrete, but we have it blocked off so that fans won't go there. But because he intruded into that area a little bit, that is going to conclude his run. That's a rule we have with Monster Jam, is if you get up onto the stadium. So not if you tap the wall, it doesn't matter. If you get up onto the stadium or the arena or whatever the venue is, then that is when it will become a run-ending situation. So, Colt Stevens, his run's going to get cut short despite the fact that it was going very, very well. Your score for Colt Stevens and TunderROARus is a 4.012. A 4.012. Again, he left way too much time on the clock, even though it was a cool save. My apologies. Even though it was a cool save, actually technically two cool saves, he left way too much time to be desired. And I'm sure the fact that he went into the venue a little bit also was a part of why he received the score that he did. On that note, coming up next, the one and only driver representing Team Scream on this series, it's Kevin Crocker in Megalodon. Kevin Crocker, he had a rough night in skills, so he's just going to get things going right underway here in Freestyle. Now, his Freestyle game has definitely improved since his first, or should I say his last season back in 2020. So this year, now that 5 years later since then, he's definitely been looking a little better, but he's going to have to figure out something to pick up the pace a little bit. Because right now, he is sitting towards the bottom. But I think Colt Stevens is going to be overtaking that spot after today, because of how rough both competitions went for him, mostly out of pure bad luck. Kevin Crocker in Megalodon, though, he's looking pretty consistent so far. He's got a little bit of flow going. He hasn't gotten into any particularly bad situations. And he's been looking pretty consistent here, so Kevin Crocker in Megalodon off to a clean start to this run. He has actually filled half the clock. It's crazy how quickly freestyles go by. So he might be going for a slap wheelie. We don't really see those from Kevin too often, so that was cool to see. And it looks like it might actually be Morgan and Morgan backflip time if he can get it set up. He's gonna land it, but that just absolutely destroyed the truck. Drive shaft, 4-link bar, suspension in the back. Kevin Crocker in Megalodon, he lands the first backflip out of anybody on the 2025 BeamNG Monster Jam Send It series. So that is huge there for Kevin Crocker in Megalodon, but oh, sorry, I forgot to turn off his time. He did leave about 20 seconds on the clock, so that is going to have to take away from his score a little bit. Your score tonight for Kevin Crocker in Megalodon is 7.7, so not a bad score. 7.7 puts him definitely above Colt Stevens, but as much as it's not a bad score, it is definitely a score that can and likely will be beat at some point later on in the show, unless everybody has luck as bad as Colt Stevens did and ends up going out of bounds. So, 2 of 10 runs down so far, and it's been a pretty eventful freestyle competition. We saw the first flip of the season and a couple crazy saves. On that note, we're going to get right into your next competitor. This is the biggest floor he has ever driven on in competition here with Monster Jam. Please welcome Fernando Martinez, El Toro Loco. Fernando, he's going to step on the gas down that straightaway. He wants to get you fans on your feet as he gets ready to go here. And Fernando Martinez, he's going to get things going in a pretty crazy way. Oh my goodness, that is why they call it El Toro Loco. Fernando Martinez, the good thing about driving in arenas for a long time is you really get a feel for your truck, and you have the opportunity to figure out exactly, I guess not exactly, but you get to figure out a lot of very precise things like how much gas you give when. Because when you're in a much more confined space, you have to be a lot more cautious with what you do, and you really learn how to control your truck. And Fernando Martinez really just showed us that as he kicks off that run with an incredible save. And I should probably note, since then, he has had some great air going. He's going to get a little bit caught up on that obstacle, and that's going to put him over very early. He's only going to be able to fill 50 seconds. I'm not entirely sure what went wrong. He was soaring over that truck, and then his truck just didn't want to go forward. I guess he probably got caught somewhere there on that stack. So he tried putting it in reverse to get unstuck, and it sent the truck straight onto its lid. So far, all three runs have ended in a way that I'm sure the drivers... Wow. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. This always happens when I do BeamNG shows. So far, every run we've seen has ended in a way that I'm sure the drivers didn't want them to. Which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, I don't think it's horrible. But Fernando, a very tough break there, going to end early. His score is going to be a 6.50, so it's going to be enough for second place nonetheless. It's not last. If it's not last, it's not that bad of a score, but I'm sure we will see plenty of drivers who end up placing above Fernando here just because he ended a little bit early on there. On that note, we're going to get right into your next competitor. He has a veteran with decades of driving under his belt, and his name is Charlie Pauken in the Gravedigger. Charlie started a very, very long time ago, and he is known for driving a different truck that is in this lineup, Excaliber, driven by Pagliarulo. So it's very interesting to see them on a tour together. Charlie Pauken, take a look at that. He is showing one of the key things he learned in his decades-long career, and that is how to keep the truck under control. Maybe I spoke too soon. Charlie Pauken gets out of control right after I was talking about how good he is at controlling the truck. He's going to make the same mistake as Colt Stevens. He's going to go flying into the out-of-bounds zone, and that's going to end off his run in just a couple of hits. And because he didn't fill at least 30 seconds, Charlie Pauken goes home with a 0 in freestyle. So, man, it's been a good night for some drivers, but for others, this show has been going terribly. Pretty much everyone that scored low in skills has also scored low in freestyle so far. I mean, this is just, it's insane to me how badly this is going for some drivers compared to how well it's been going for some others. On that note, though, one of the last drivers in the bottom 5 placing, actually, of the bottom 5 placing in skills, this is the last of them. It's Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. One of 2 Team Tomfoolery drivers in this lineup. The other, Mike Pagliarulo, will be coming out a little bit later on because he did pretty good in skills. Ended up taking home 3rd place. Oh man, Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken with the sky wheelie action. And when he hits the brakes to try to avoid those barriers, he ends up accidentally getting it onto a stoppie to moonwalk combination. Looks like he is still getting a little crossed up with those barriers. He's going to reverse to try and get away from that. Time continues ticking down though, and Nick really hasn't been able to fit in many hits so far, so he is going to have to start bringing the heat a little bit here if he wants to try and take the lead from Kevin Crocker and Megalodon. Now keep in mind, Kevin didn't really do anything groundbreaking, but he did still land that backflip, and it was the first of the night, so that boosted his score a little bit. Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken, though, he is definitely giving it his best efforts, but sometimes you push the truck a little too hard and things like that happen. Nick Pagliarulo, he's going to leave about 55 seconds on the clock here in Freestyle. As you can see there, he lost that tire. A tough break for Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken, but definitely wasn't the worst run of the night. He had good momentum, some nice moves in there. But your score for Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken is a 6.1, 6.1. Not as high as Fernando's score, so I believe that puts him in third place right now. That's going to be third place for Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. So, I don't know, I said Kevin probably wouldn't win, but no one has been able to get a good run going since him. So, Kevin might be looking good here in Freestyle. I thought he was looking mediocre, middle of the pack, but apparently not. He's looking great compared to how some of these other runs have been going. But up next, he's the one and only driver out here representing Team Throttle Monster. Please welcome Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack. Tim Hall Jr., he's going to get things started there with some nice air, but it looks like he hit that at the wrong angle because after the first hit and the first hit only, something goes wrong and he gets a flat tire immediately. Now, fortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to let that stop him, but that's going to be rough to adapt to, so we're going to have to see what he can do. Now, this is one of the only things you can do. If you have a flat tire in the rear, you're going to have to just make things work with the front end. So, he tries for a bit of a moonwalk right there. He gets it to work for a little while, but maybe not as long as he'd have hoped for. Okay, a bit of a nice save. When you have a truck that's on tip-top shape, sometimes you get into weird predicaments that get you some wow factors like that. He's gonna soar over that truck ramp right there, so he's still making this work to an extent, even if it's not perfect. He's gonna now leave the main boundaries. He might be the first driver to eye it. Yes, he is. He's gonna use the inside transfer ramp, and that goes terribly wrong. A flat tire will mess up your trajectory, and he's going to crush the wall. He hit that so hard that he crushed solid brick wall. You can see his tires inside the wall because all the bricks that would have been there were just displaced. So, man, driver after driver, run after run, nobody is getting what they want. Tim Hall Jr. and Jurassic Attack, he's going to get an early ending as well. Countless times. We have already seen that tonight. And the score for Jurassic Attack is a 6 flat. So what a tough break there for Tim Hall Jr. I mean, he did make it work as best as he could, battling that truck issue, but somehow, even with a score in the 7s, Kevin Crocker is still holding that top spot. And there are now only 4 competitors remaining, so this has been a very rough show for a pretty large amount of the drivers in this field. On that note, though, coming up next is Brianna Mahan and Scooby-Doo. She hasn't driven on a floor this big in a point series in quite a while, unless you include maybe Tacoma. But I'm not even sure that Tacoma is this big. Rihanna Mahan and Scooby-Doo getting set and ready to go here. Looks like she's eyeing that ramp as well. Now that's the ramp that ended the run for Tim Hall Jr. So it's interesting to be going for it for the first hit, but maybe Rihanna Mahan is just showing that she is a little bit more skilled than some other drivers because she's going to almost show off by starting off like that. And she is looking good so far to kick off this run. plenty of big air sends. And that is exactly how you kick off a freestyle. Rihanna Mahan, Scooby-Doo. Getting a nice start to the action. Nice wheelie right there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. She has made sure to keep this truck steady while still getting full sends. Most other drivers have gotten too much on the ragged edge and gone over because of it. Brianna Mahan, though, she has kept that truck nice and under control so far, even with getting countless full sends into this freestyle. That is what has really set this run apart for me so far, and she is going to continue to send that truck through the air. There's that ragged edge action. I mean, keeping the truck balance is nice, but you are going to need a little bit of ragged edge action if you want to be able to get a winning score. So Brianna Mahan seems to understand all the assignments so far. It's backflip time. She's going to land it. She's going to put it in reverse, but it looks like the same fate for Kevin Crocker is going to strike Brianna Mahan. Over-rotates it, breaks a 4-link bar, and that does it. So, Brianna Mahan and Scooby-Doo, tough break to end the run, but you know what? She gave it her all, and I think that was probably the best run overall we've seen so far. It had the backflip, it had the ragged edge save action, it had big air all throughout, and it didn't fill time, but no one has yet. It's crazy how, I guess, inconsistent this competition has been. So yeah, I mean, the score for Brianna Mahan and Scooby-Doo is an 8.1, so that is going to put her at the top spot right now in freestyle, because, I mean, we just haven't seen anything super groundbreaking yet, but we are down to the final 3, and these were the 3 drivers who placed the highest in the previous competition, so maybe that's to say they'll perform even better here in freestyle. We're just going to have to wait and see, because coming up first of those 3 is Mike Pagliarulo and Excaliber. He is going to get started with a huge send, huge air there for Mike Pagliarulo. Oh, that truck looked to be dragging to the side a little bit. I'm not sure what that was all about. I thought there might have been some breakage, but he looks to be back at 100% now, so maybe an axle got a little caught up or something. Or a planetary might have locked up for a second, but slipped back out of it. I don't know. But Mike's looking back in business right now, and he is getting huge air. Probably the biggest send of the night so far. I mean, Mike Pagliarulo has become a freestyle powerhouse. He is looking great so far in this run. He did great in skills, so if he can do good here as well, this is a huge opportunity for him to grab the series lead, and it looks like he is trying to seize the opportunity because he is going huge so far, and he is just now halfway done with the run. More huge air for Mike Pagliarulo and Excaliber, and he is going to get a moonwalk right there, or I guess a stoppie out of nowhere, and it is now backflip time. So far this move has ended the run for everybody, not for Mike Pagliarulo. That truck looks like it held up perfectly. This is huge for Mike. If he can keep this energy up, I think we're going to be seeing him at the top of the series coming out of this show. I don't know what to even call that move. You see pieces of the truck are still flying through the air. Mike, he's still got about 20 seconds to try and get something here to end out this run on a big note. And oh my goodness, he just plowed through the truck stack so hard that he sheared the front tires clean off. I have never seen something like that. And you know, I mean, I was saying all throughout that run, man, this truck is holding up so well. But I guess that truck could only take so much until it couldn't take any more, as Mike Pagliarulo and Excaliber sets it down with only 2 tires left on the truck. On that note, scores are locked, and your score for Excaliber is a 9.1. That is now the biggest score that we have seen in the freestyle competition, and for a good reason. I mean, every single driver I can think of that went before that had a mediocre freestyle at best. The only exception would really be Rihanna Mahan. There were drivers who were having insane freestyles, which just couldn't keep it together. First ones that come to mind are Fernando and Colt Stevens. But Mike stayed on his A game the entire run, and that is what I'm talking about. On that note, coming up next, he is one of the longer running drivers in this field. People forget it, but he's been driving for about a decade. It's Matt Cody in Blue Thunder. He's going to take it down the center of the track now. He's going to get some big air to kick off the run. Take a look at that suspension in action. That truck is looking bouncy, but you know what? That's good. Hold on, fans. They're going to shut off that truck. They're going to try and remove this piece of the other obstacle that is currently stuck in the truck. 1 second here, fans. They're going to try and get this fixed up here. Clock is paused. He's got about, I would say, probably 100 seconds left on the clock. One second, fans. It's very, very tough when those pieces get caught up in these trucks, because if they stay in there, they can cause a lot of internal damage, or they could even fly off the track and end up going into the stands. It looks like that piece has now been safely removed from Matt Cody and Blue Thunder's truck. He's refired and he is ready to go. And I mean, when you go through a long shutoff like that, it really kills your momentum. So Matt Cody, I'm going to imagine that he's not super thrilled to have been shut off like that. And I think this is really going to help bring this run to the next level. There we go. Nice wheelie right there. Matt Cody. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It was a great wheelie, but at what cost? I think he's battling some rear steering issues. It looks like it's working occasionally, but at other times it's not turning the way he wants it to. The clock is ticking down, but he's really going to have to get these steering issues figured out, or else he's gonna really suffer with the scores here. And I mean, he had a great chance at the series lead based on his skills score, but I think a lot of that's going down the drain right now with Freestyle, as this truck is just not cooperating. He's down to only about 40 seconds left, so he's gonna have to do something here, but I'm not sure how much he can really do. This truck is just not doing what he wants it to do and needs it to do, but it's not slowing him down. It looks like he's using it to get on the ragged edge, and maybe he's trying to make his way over there. He's making his way over to the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp. He's going to actually land it on a weird twist maneuver. I have not seen something like that. Now Mike Pagliarulo should start getting nervous, because Matt Cody and Blue Thunder, he is going off the rails, and that is where the run is going to come to an end about right as time expires. Matt Cody and Blue Thunder, what a way to end out that freestyle run. Despite battling with steering issues the entire time, he stayed on his A game. He was pushing that truck as hard as he could. And man, I mean, he had some good saves. He had that crazy backflip, and he had that wild crash to end out the run. I mean, what a great performance for Matt Cody and Blue Thunder. Even if it didn't end perfectly, I would say overall he adapted well. He threw it down, and I'm very happy with how that run went, especially with how rough this competition had started. And on that note, fans, your official score for Matt, Cody, and Blue Thunder is a 9.2, which means just barely, just like in the skills challenge, he is going to edge out Mike Pagliarulo once again. Sorry, for that top spot. So that's got to feel good for Matt Cody. Even with all the truck issues he was facing and that shutoff, he still delivered enough to take the lead. And on that note, only one competitor remains, your skills winner, and thus your current series points leader coming into this competition, as this is the first show of the year, Tristan England and BKT. While it's safe to say Tristan definitely has his work cut out for him, he is going to go huge to kick off this run. And I mean, honestly, we don't usually see that kind of action from Tristan England in freestyle. So I think he's definitely seeing the pressure. He's feeling it right now because he is pushing this truck in a way that I'm not used to seeing him push it. We're just getting started, and he's already getting some of the biggest sends of the night. Watch out, Tristan. He's going to get a little bit close to our setup over here. He's going to get it back. And, I mean, taking a maneuver like this takes up a lot of time. That's where I'll give credit to Brianna Mahan for. As she actually planned ahead, and she started her run by hitting that obstacle. When you're in the middle of the run and you go all the way out of your way to go hit that obstacle, it takes up a lot of time. So Tristan England and BKT, he's going to have to figure out how to make up for the amount of time he just spent trying to line up for that. It looks like he's really trying to put his focus on this run into some of these technical moves. This is the second or third moonwalk we have seen. He is going to bring it in a 180 twist. Oh my goodness. What are... Wait. Oh, what? I don't even know what to begin to say to that maneuver. I mean, he went over. It looked like he was going to save it. He threw it in reverse. It looked like he was going over again. And the truck got back on all fours. Clock is currently paused at about 1 minute for Tristan England and BKT. If he can get this refired, which he can, I think we're going to see the same podium as we saw in the skills challenge. Tristan England and BKT, he is back in business, and he is going to get a huge wheelie. Oh, man. We are not going to see the same podium. Well, you never know. Maybe this will get a big score. Tristan England absolutely sends it. He knew he was going to have to continue on with going big to follow up that insane save, but he went a little too big on that sky wheelie, broke a tire and a tie rod clean off. And that officially ends the event tonight. So fans, your official score for Tristan England and BKT is an 8.2, enough for 4th place, which means your oh, sorry, that's actually his 3rd place. Wow, so the top 3 in skills and the top 3 in freestyle were identical. That is insane. The only difference was the order. On that note, that means Matt, Cody, and Blue Thunder is officially your freestyle winner. And he is also your official series points leader with a score of an 18. Mike Pagliarulo has also tied him for that score. And Tristan England having a 9.6 and an 8.2. That also rounds up to an 18. So there's a 3-way tie at the top spot right now. Then we have Brianna Mahan in 2nd with 17. So the competition is fierce on this series just in the first event. We saw some crazy action, crashes, saves, big air, technical moves. I mean, there was some of everything in this show. It wasn't the most smooth sailing show, I'll admit that. A lot of drivers didn't get what they were looking for and broke early or just simply crashed early. Tristan England included, but I mean, for the drivers that didn't do that well, it was a huge relief to see how amazingly Matt Cody and Mike Pagliarulo did. Matt Cody especially, though, that was a signature freestyle run. And that is why Matt Cody will officially be running on the BeamNG Destruction Series for the next 3 stops until Tyler Menninga can get behind the wheel of Gravedigger again after his incident crashing into the stand. So, Matt Cody, current series points leader on this tour, is now making his way over to the Destruction Series to fill in for Tyler Menninga temporarily. On that note, that is going to put an end to this show. I hope you fans enjoyed. Like said, it was a bit of a rough event compared to what we've seen lately, but it was still a cool show nonetheless. Thank you all for coming out, and I'll see you all next time.